Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Today is Thursday. I'm excited about it because there's something happening called sunshine today. It's going to be beautiful. We should get up into the upper 80s. But the bad news is, and there's always seems to be that but, isn't it? Tomorrow brings about some severe weather that we're watching closely. A level 2 for our area is what we've got so far. As this gets near, we'll have the chance of tornadic activity, high winds of about 60 miles an hour, some hail mixed in with this. We'll be on it for you. It's going to be late tomorrow afternoon as the evening progresses, and we'll watch that. And again, with these storms this far out, it's redefined several times of the timeline. So let's don't hold steady to a certain time. All we know at this point, it'll be in the afternoon, and we'll adjust that once we get a little bit closer to that. We got some special guests coming in at 7 o'clock. Kirby will be in. There's a lot going on in Meridian. Do y'all realize Memorial Day is so close? We've got that coming up, a ceremony downtown Meridian, and then also Run for the Wall. As always, the motorcycle riders that come into Meridian that host these guys that head to Washington, D.C. every year. We're going to find out all the details on that. We also got some special guests from the Jimmy Rogers Foundation coming in to tell us about the shows. A big one in Philadelphia tonight. Ben Haggard's going to be there. Marty going to be at Marty's place there, Merle Haggard's son. Ought to be a big show. I hope you'll enjoy that. You'll like it a lot. He's a great singer. I've seen him several times. You'll like that. All right, let's head out to Collinsville. I'll probably have to adjust this as me and Odie were discussing. I need to get my ducks in a row some mornings, and I missed this. I think I've got the wrong day, so we'll adjust this should it be wrong. We'll be right back.
If I were to get you a gift card to your favorite restaurant, where would it be?
Proverbs 10:4 says, "Lazy hands make a man poor, but diligent hands bring wealth." This proverb makes me think of my dad. He passed away in 2006, but I can remember he was a man who loved to work. He loved to work with his hands. And when he had to do office work, it made him antsy. He always wanted to be doing something with his hands. It might have been welding or carpentry or gardening or building anything. Working with his hands made my dad his living. And there was not an ounce of laziness in him. He never became wealthy, but working with his hands gave him a means to provide, and he enjoyed most everything he did. The idea in Proverbs 10:4 is not that you have to be like my dad to not be counted lazy. The idea is that we should have a willingness and desire to work. Hard work is usually rewarded, and sometimes even with great wealth. Laziness brings us down and dishonors God. As believers, we should use all that God has given us, whether it be spiritual gifts, talents, abilities, and energy, for His glory. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray. I hope you did enjoy that. Always a great message that comes to us from Collinsville. Now, this is something that and I'm not sure how deep this goes, but I know that there's a man in trouble nationwide now. And another case that's similar to this, where you're traveling abroad. Turkey, they really don't fool around. A woman was found with ammunition in a bag. You could face up to 12 years. That's another guy that's already in jail that came through. I think he had one bullet in his bag. Whatever you do when traveling abroad, pay attention to what their rules are. No chance of that for me because I don't plan on going to Turkey anytime soon. I kind of like it here in the good old U.S. of A. I'm going to stay put. That's my thoughts at this point. How do you feel? I hope really well today. You've got a good grip on what's going on. Good morning there to Sharon Hurst. Glad to see you with us joining the show. As always, we love to see your comments, too, as we go along. What's happening here? What makes people do this? I do not know. We've seen the stories. It's never happened to me, and I know it has happened here a couple of times off of bridges. Cars are going under it, and a rock is thrown and busts a windshield. Some will say it's a prank, and what happens when it goes too far? We have that in Colorado, where a teen has had to play guilty in the death of a driver. Threw a brick off and went through the windshield and ended up causing a wreck and killing the driver. What can be an innocent prank can turn into somebody's life. If you're young watching, pay attention. Don't do stuff like that. And if you're old doing this, help you. Things like that are just uncalled for. Maryland And I see a big surge of this most likely causing parents to start using homeschooling, private school a lot more as we look at Maryland, the state of Maryland. They've got a program there that kids are not, and let me repeat this, are not going to be opted out of a curriculum to where they teach LGBT programs. There's a lot of schools that allow, if you don't agree, you can move your kids out of it. You're not going to be allowed to do that in Maryland. I see homeschooling shooting up big time. Let's see here. You have to give Ron DeSantis, or DeSantis, how you pronounce his name, kudos on this one as we look at what's going on in Florida. He has passed a bill making climate change a lesser state priority. Where others are pushing to do all of this, they're a little bit different in Florida. July 1, it will take effect and it will boost expansion of natural gas, reduce regulations on gas pipelines in the state, and increase protections against bans or gas appliances such as stoves, according to a news release from the governor's office. So they're going to make it easier to make a living in Florida. Imagine that. Now, the rest of the world, as the headline reads, they're whining about it. I think he's doing a great job. Thumbs up on that. As we Tom Brady, I didn't watch it, nor do I care to watch the roast on him after it's said and done. And I'm sure he made money off of this, off of Netflix. He goes, well, it wasn't good for my kids to watch. Give the money back, start over. I won't even touch that. Missouri makes an arrest. After 20 years, they've been searching for somebody that was a serial child rapist. We're glad they're behind bars. He's 72 years old now. May they lock him away. Doesn't get any worse than that. Now, any golf players out there, the people that watch golf, it's a bigger sport than I know about. I don't play golf. I don't know as much about it as I should. I know that golf clubs are a big deal. People protect them. But when it comes to memorabilia, the Masters, apparently that's pretty big there. There's a guy that worked at the museum in Augusta, Georgia. He's been there since 2007. What he's been sneakily doing is, well, selling off a part here, a part there from the museum. He's pleaded guilty. He's earned as much as $5 million since then of selling the stuff. He's already been requested to pay back $1.3 million. He could spend a couple of years in jail. He devised a plan, didn't he? One of the jackets, remember those green jackets? Arnold Palmer won one of them that he sold to the black market. Wow. These will do anything to make a living. Let me rephrase that, not to make a living, to do it honestly. Be ready for this as we're now at May. As we move in toward the middle of the summer, things are going to get hot. As we look at statistically, more people die from the heat. If you've got a neighbor that needs a little help, check on them before it gets too hot. See if everything's working. Make sure their air is working for them. It's going to be hot as we get into June and July. That's not far off from here. Have you seen this? The Chiefs, Harrison Butker. He is a NFL quarterback for the Chiefs. They have put a petition out this morning. It's been going on for a few days because he gave a speech at a graduation. And during the course of the speech, he made the comment, now he's Catholic, he made the comment that there's a lot of you who will be graduating. And he said a lot of you will be happy, basically, to be homemakers, stating that some women would like to get married and settle down, have a home life. He's being raked over the coals for making those comments. They're calling him everything under the sun that you can imagine. There's two sides to everything. I listened to it. I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times to catch what they were mad about there. But they're mad, and they're extremely mad at this guy. 70,000 signatures have signed that to remove him. I won't even go into the list of what they're calling the man. It didn't sound all of that bad. I think he just made a comment that there are some, as we all know, there's some that go to college, some that want to be attorneys, and everybody has a different path. Is it going to be a divorce? Oh, Lord, we had to sit through them dating and then get married, and it was the greatest thing. They've been seen without each other. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Are they getting a divorce? They've been seen several times without each other. It's not at the top of my list of worries, but boy, it sure seems to be making headlines this week across news benefits. So something to keep in mind. Let's see what else is happening this morning. This is shocking. Do y'all remember the Mirage Casino? Let me show you a picture of it. This is what it looks like. An icon in the skyline of Sin City. Here's what it looks like. It's being torn down. They're going to be replacing it with a Hard Rock hotel that's shaped like a guitar. That's coming. The skyline being changed. I guess some things are good. There was another one that was removed not long ago that had been there since the 50s. This one's been there since, I think, the 90s. Change is a-coming. We'll be right back as we carry on this morning. We got your weather forecast next.
Advanced AutoGlass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, AutoGlass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced AutoGlass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in AutoGlass repair. Advanced AutoGlass by Joey.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at what the severe weather could be tomorrow. And again, as I mentioned to you earlier, this will be late into the afternoon on Friday afternoon, but it is a level 2 storm as we pull up Honda Meridian radar. Here's what we've got. You see that yellow? That's at level 2. This will stretch from Alexandria, Louisiana, taking in even down to Houma, taking in all the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Pensacola, up through Montgomery and Birmingham. And here in Mississippi, it will start right around West Point, taking all of Stark, Vegas, Kosciuszko, Winston County there at Louisville, and all of Neshoba County, Newton County. We're going to be in this storm as we look at this. Now, again, with this, we can get severe storms. We can get tornadic activity. We can get hail. Winds up to about 60 miles an hour with a gust inside the storm. We'll watch this. And this area also going to see extremely large amounts of rain south of I-20. So right here in Lauderdale County and Newton County, it will be that line at I-20, and anything south of that could see 3 to 5 inches. North of I-20 could see 1 to 2 inches of rain tomorrow afternoon. So we're looking for the worst of the weather. Again, as we say, south of I-20, what does that ring a bell with? Clarkdale area. You're going to get a lot of rain, which means we're going to get more thunderstorms in that area there as we come across Hickory, Chunky, and those areas tomorrow afternoon. We'll be here to walk you through it step by step and let you know where those storms are. It's highly important to you. It's important to us, and we'll be here to tell you about that. Let's get into your forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
All right, I hit the wrong button, and, well, that happens sometimes. Here we go as we take a look at our record highs and record lows. 1962, we had a high of 94 today. Back in 73, I was 4 years old. I remember Easter well that year. It was a low of 45. Wow. Funny how things stick in your mind, isn't it? As we look across this, today's high should be around 89 in Meridian. A little cooler as we get into Columbus, Philadelphia, even up through Louisville, should be somewhere around 88. Down the Mississippi River, it's going to be warm, basically 88 all the way down to Natchez. Give or take a degree here or there, but warm weather across the place, and it's going to be sunshine. Let me interrupt and say if you need to cut your grass, this afternoon would be the time to do that. It'll be wet again and have to dry out after tomorrow. Do it today if you can. As we look at the record highs, as we look at the temperatures, rather, for Alabama, we'll see that Birmingham should see 87 and stay steady all the way down to Demopolis. Livingston, somewhere around 87 as well. Over to Auburn, a tad pinch bit cooler at 86. Now, here's what we're looking at as we brought this about. Here it is tomorrow. This will happen in the western side over here in Brookhaven. Natchez back this way today. Not going to affect East Mississippi at all. Tomorrow is what we're watching right here. As we mentioned, all the above, that's the storms that will be rolling in tomorrow. Now, here's that rain that I mentioned south of I-20, where I brought up the Hickory, Chunky area, these places here, and, of course, Clarkdale, anything south of I-20 down through Clark County into Jasper County, Wayne, Laurel, Hattiesburg, those areas, Smith County as well, will have a bigger threat of rain tomorrow, somewhere around 3 to 5 inches of rain. That's a lot. Flash flooding could occur. Keep it in mind. Now, north of here, as we'll see that as a limited threat, could see 1 to 2 inches through Philadelphia as you get into Leake County and Knoxville County and all these areas up around Winston could see 1 to 2 inches of rain tomorrow. So it's got some highlights north of here, not as bad. South, pay attention with the weather tomorrow. We'll be here to watch it. Alabama pulls in, and that level 2 carries over Tuscaloosa as well to Demopolis. And then anywhere east of Tuscaloosa will be a level 1. That includes Birmingham, Clanton, all the way over to Auburn there. And again, as you'll see there, they're even predicting the chance of tornadic activity in Alabama. Now, as we look here, this is the temperatures of what we're looking at over the next 10 days. They're warm weather in the deep south. As you look at South Texas, it's bad hot there already. Warming up in the state of Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana. Here's our 7-day outlook. Today we should hit 89. A teeny bit chance of fog this morning as you wake up. Now, tomorrow it's a little cooler as these storms move in. And if you'll see that, 90% chance of thunderstorm activity tomorrow. The highs dip to 84, dropping down. By Saturday, we got a high of 86, 50% chance of rain, but we are seeing that it does say we will have periods of sunshine. So it's not going to be a stormy day all day. That's good. By Sunday, all that rain's out. By Monday, we're back at 93. Y'all see that? One of the highest temperatures we've had forecasted so far Monday and Tuesday of next week. Still into the 90s on Wednesday, and as we move ahead through May the 29th as we get near June. Couple of days in the 80s, but for the most part, we're right at 90. And I'd expect that all the way as we hit June before long. And then after you hit June, what happens is really hot as we get into July and all of that. Again, we'll be watching that. Now, what's happening with the fishing calendar this morning? Chet's ready. Let's see what we've got with the best times to fish today. Right at 8 o'clock, if you're going to your favorite fishing hole, 8 a.m. until about 10 a.m. this morning is perfect. Another time later tonight, it'll be dark, 8:30. A minor time this afternoon around 1:30 to 3:30 is a time you could go out, and, well, they might be biting. We'll put it that way. The wind's going to be calm coming east. Around 5 miles an hour is what we've got projected when it comes to the fishing forecast. Arnold, how are you? Glad to see you up there. Vicky is up as well. So many of you. Elizabeth, glad to see you there. Gene, good morning there. God bless America. I agree with that statement as well. We're getting close to the top of the hour. We got Kirby ready. We're going to be talking about all the events that are happening in Meridian leading up to Memorial Day. A lot of it. A very important time in our community, nationwide. Stars and stripes mean a lot. We'll talk about all of that this morning. That's all up and coming with Scotty Ray and Odie at 7 o'clock. Won't you join us? I hope so. I'll see you back in just a moment. We'll go over all the day's events.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.